Welcome, dear learners, for evaluating the performance of an employee in the organization and providing insights for improving his or her performance. Another very important skill called as coaching is needed, and it is nowadays becoming increasingly important in every organization. So in this video, we will focus on concept of coaching, why to coach, and what are the stages of a coaching session. But before that, I would like to make the distinction between mentoring and coaching very much clear, because managers have been using these two terms interchangeably. Mentoring is not usually carried out by the person's manager. Coaching is done by the manager or the leader as part of his or her responsibility towards the team. A mentor is normally someone who is older and possess more experience than the mentee, whereas a coach doesn't require to know everything and possess more experience necessarily. A coach uses questioning and feedback technique to facilitate an employee's thought and learning process. Now, coming to what is meant by coaching. It is a process of helping another individual realize his or her inner potential, delivering fulfillment to both the individual and the organization. To coach means to bring a person from where he or she is to where he or she wants to be. Actually, it is an art of facilitating the performance, learning, and development of another person. It is a confidential process through which two or more professional colleagues work together. The purpose is to reflect on current practices, expand, refine, and build skills, share ideas, teach one another, conduct organizational climate research, or solve problems in the workplace. It is the process of equipping people with tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to fully develop themselves to be effective in their commitment to themselves, the organization, and their work. It is basically a two-way communication. The purpose is to help an employee learn more to facilitate his or her performance at work. Now, let us know how we can know who is to be coached. For this, different techniques can be employed. One is the self assessment by the employee himself or herself, or certain tools for formal assessment can be developed, or some informal assessment technique can be employed for knowing who needs to be coached. Now, the question is, who is a coach? A coach can be a peer or a manager who motivates employees, helps them acquire skills through instruction, and provides reinforcement and feedback while working with them. The important characteristics of a good coach include that he has to be good listener. He or she needs to know how to ask question, how to probe the employee for receiving responses, how to give praise and recognition, how to build rapport, and how to create trust. Trust can be created by being non-judgmental, by being straightforward and challenging, by his ability to work from the other person's agenda, by giving encouragement and support, by focusing on future opportunities, getting to the point, by knowing the observational skills, and by being objective rather than subjective. Now, let us learn the stages of a coaching session. As you know, coaching process involves identifying the problem, clarifying the alternatives, deciding on an action plan, and then implementing the action plan. So let us learn these steps in detail. Firstly, building a relationship of mutual trust. It is very much essential, because conduct of an effective coaching meeting without first building some degree of trust is impossible. After building the rapport, the next stage is of opening the meeting. During this stage, the manager needs to clarify in an, of course, non-threatening and anxiety-free environment, non-evaluative climate, the rationale of arranging the meeting. The next stage is getting agreement. The most critical step in the coaching process is probably to get the employee to agree verbally on the existence of a problem issue or a performance issue. The coach persuades an employee about the existence of a performance issue by defining the nature and significance of the issue and getting him or her to identify the consequences of not changing his or her undesirable behavior. The next stage is exploring alternatives. That is, after getting the employee to agree on the existence of a performance issue, now the coach encourages the employee to identify alternative solutions for improving or correcting the performance issue. Next step is getting a commitment to act. This stage will enable the employee choose an appropriate alternative out of many alternatives listed. The coach must ensure a commitment from the employee about what and when the action will be taken. The next step is handling excuses. Employee self-justification for not keeping the promise may occur anytime during the coaching meeting. The coach must handle such excuses tactfully. The next stage is providing feedback to the employee on his performance. Employees value the importance of performance feedback, both positive and corrective, if given on continual basis by the coach. Now, what is the role of a coach? Coaching is not telling your young colleague, other employees what to do or providing simple answers to their questions. It is helping your employees discover the answers themselves. So, your role is to unlock an employee's potential to maximize his or her own performance, helping him or her to learn rather than teaching him or her. It is more time consuming than giving orders, but is also much more satisfying to both the employee and the leader or the coach. Let us now learn the framework for structuring the coaching or mentoring sessions, a GROW model, which stands for goal, current reality, options or obstacles, and the will. Goal, that is, what do you want, where you want to go, what is the problem issue. So the goal has to be stated in a smart way. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, R stands for realistic, and T stands for time bound. R is the reality. What is the present status? That is, what is happening now. So consider the starting point and identify information you need in order to reach goal effectively. Next, O stands for options. That is, what could you do? Can you think of various alternatives? So the role of coach is to encourage the employee to explore various options. And the last is the will. What will you do? So commit to specific actions in order to move forward towards goal, thereby help him establish his or her will and boost his or her motivation. So dear learners, in this video, we have learned the concept of coaching, the stages of a coaching session, and if implemented effectively, it can lead to the improved performance of an individual employee and the team as a whole. Thank you very much.